All right. Welcome, everybody, to the CosTalk Live special charity stream. We have Shaun Bond here, who is the founder of the Stitch Project. And why don't we go ahead and have you introduce yourself, Shaun, before Jinx and I introduce ourselves so that we can get kind of basic information about you and your endeavor.
Hi, sure. My name is Shaun Bond. I'm from Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm the founder of the Stitch Project. So, to go into a little in depth about the Stitch Project itself, when we first started, it wasn't named the Stitch Project. So, I'm gonna give you some background here. So, October 2017, I noticed on Facebook that there was a child in Ohio who was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. And that was Olivia. So I knew right away with the Christmas season coming up, we had to do something special for her. So I knew that I had to rally my network of party performer friends, cosplay friends, company owners, stuff like that to do something special for her. So I put the call out for personalized video clips from various characters to bring a smile to her face. We delivered, took us about 2 months. We delivered the project to Olivia, was just before Christmas. She saw it Christmas morning. So in the message to Olivia, we included a special message from Santa Claus as well. So I think that really perked her up. So when Olivia got the video Christmas morning, she was in home hospice care. That's how deteriorated she was from the cancer. So Christmas morning, her aunt Tina played the video for Olivia, and that was the first time Olivia smiled in months. And she didn't really see the video, but she heard the video. She heard the character saying her name. And then she requested that the video be played over and over and over again, over and over and over again. Unfortunately, 4 days after Olivia received her video, December 29th, she passed away from cancer. So I waited until after New Year till everything settled down. I approached Olivia's aunt in New Year to see if there's something that this is something she wanted us to continue for other children who are terminally or critically ill. And she said yes. So at that point, it became known as just a video project, and we didn't know what we were going to call it right away. And and I think Jessica can attest to this. We brainstormed for ideas. Eventually, it came out that Olivia's favorite movie was Disney's Lilo and Stitch. She likened her brain tumor to the alien Stitch, so she called her brain tumor Stitch, and that's where we came up with the Stitch Project. And we're actually proud to be teaming up with the Team Oliviah Foundation. We're partnered with them as well. That's basically a little background of how we got started.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm going to go ahead and show everybody what the some pictures on the Stitch Project so they can see what it looks like here. So this is the Stitch Project, established in 2018, and it partners with the Team Oliviah Foundation that assists terminally ill children and kind of helps bring more light into their life, especially when you're so sick and you're so young. It's a very big struggle because you're still growing and there's so much already going on, I'm sure physically and emotionally, that adding an illness to it can only make it more taxing. And so this foundation, along with the Stitch Project, works to bring happiness to them in times when they're struggling.
Yeah, so I'll jump in here. So my name is Jessica, Jinx Cosplay. As you guys know, I'm a regular host at CosTalk Live. I'm also an admin of the Stitch Project. So me and Shaun kind of got things started. Primarily what we do is, we search for children who, maybe terminally ill or has a terminal illness, and we just gather volunteers to send messages via video just to like bring a smile to their face. And you know, we've been recruiting people. We have a group of, I think there's like 200 or 300 people in there now, and it can be.
I think it's 249. That includes party company owners from all across the globe. So we actually have access to their entire casts, which
and this is Olivia,
adds to our numbers.
Yeah, so I actually met Shaun because I submitted a Moana video for
Olivia.
Yeah, and he was kind of like, oh, you know, I kind of want to do this again. I suggested, hey, let's just do a group and just see how it goes. So we just kind of started with that. So kind of what we do is we will get a recipient, you know, get permissions. Like Shaun usually does all of that. He gets a recipient. I kind of just do more of like the admin stuff.
Actually, Jessica, I'd like to touch a little more on the process that we go through in order to do that. So what happens is once we come across a child with a qualifying situation that we think warrants a video project, it gets run by our administration team, which consists of myself, Jessica, Talia, a friend of mine from Quebec, and Jessica's aunt, Olivia's aunt Tina. And so, once we had the project greenlighted from the admin team, we approached each child's guardian to see if something that they'd like to have done for the child. At that point in time, the expectation is set for delivery of the video, which can be 1 to 2 months, depending on the amount of clips that we get, how long it takes to edit the clips, and it also depends on the child's situation too. Like if the child's terminal, we try to pound it out faster than we would if the child was only critical.
Yeah, we kind of do it like I think the fastest we've done one was like a month. So obviously we still need to put out like a month for people to, you know, because a lot of party companies will do them as like their performers go out. They'll also do the video at the same time to kind of like, because it takes a long time to get into, you know, costume and makeup. So I think the fastest one we did was probably a month or less than a month. Just to make sure we got enough people to get in their videos and stuff. And some have just gone longer. But
yeah, I know I've done a Merida.
Yeah, you've done a few Merida ones. Yeah. So then what we do is then, you know, we announce the recipient, kind of like give them a little like bio, like things that they like, because obviously the characters want to personalize it. And then we put a sign-up sheet out. Well, and what we'll also do is ask what kind of characters they like, because we don't want to send them anyone they don't know. Maybe it's just Disney princesses, maybe it's superheroes, maybe it's anyone, you know. So a lot of people do a lot of different characters, not just Disney and superhero. We get a lot of of the storybook characters as well, and some of the other cartoon characters. So then we kind of put like our list out of who we want, and then we do a sign-up sheet, which is so funny because I've had to change the times that I send out the sign-up sheet every project, because we have people all over the world that want to submit, but it's a first come, first served basis. So sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm releasing it at midnight Pacific, which sounds ridiculous, but then people, you know, halfway around the globe have a chance to sign up. And we give them a time limit. So it's not just like you signed up and that's it. Like you have a week from the time that you sign up to submit your video. And if there are other people waiting by that time, you know, if someone else is like, well, I want to do an aerial video too, you know, then if that first person doesn't make it in the week, then we move on to the next person. So we try to make it as fair as possible. And these are things that we kind of developed as we were doing projects. I think, how many projects have we done? Like 5 or 6?
Oh my God. I think we're Jessica. I think we're actually closer to maybe 10.
Really? Wow. Yeah. So every time we do a project, we try and make it as, you know, as inclusive as possible, as fair as possible. And then we try and get, of course, as many videos as we can. So even if we're past the deadline and maybe like, you know, the recipient's favorite character, we didn't get a video of, that we'll personally go and look for someone to do that as well. So that's some things that we do as well. We want to make sure that we touch all the bases on our video for the recipient.
So if somebody thinks that they have somebody in their family or a child that they would like to nominate, how do they nominate? Do they visit the Facebook page and they message there? Or do they go to the website? Is there a website that they would go to nominate a child? What do they do?
I would like to change that process. Actually, I like to have it set up so that's where we run into difficulties because we don't want to set up. We don't want to. We don't want to look like we're favoring one case over the other. So what we've been doing in the past is sometimes I'll come across a page for a child with a sickness, and if I'll screenshot. I'll screenshot it. I'll send it to the admins, and then see what they say, and then again approach the parents. If they say fine, let's do it, then we go ahead. I do want to add too that there's legalities involved here too. The parents have to agree to refrain from posting the video on all social media platforms. That's like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, basically anything you can think of that social media reaches.
Yeah, so it's
And to
basically
keep the
best
video,
private.
keep the video viewing, keep the viewing of the video within the family.
Yeah, so it's basically
Because
the reason that you're doing this is a special experience for that child so that it doesn't go public and they think it's something that's more private and personal for them. Because, for instance, if we go and individuals share on social media, people would tag the cosplayers or tag the artists, and it would kind of destroy the illusion for the child that this particular character created this video or this special message for them.
Well, and plus, like,
well,
there's also the whole copyright thing that we're kind of like teetering on. So that's something that we, want to avoid. So we basically, the video is not to be shared anywhere. So even I'll post the video in the group just so that the group can see and yeah, they can see it for themselves for anything they want to improvement on, or maybe examples for new people that are coming in, but it's strictly not to be shared anywhere else, and the group is private. So that's the only place it's posted on social media. Otherwise, we'd like to keep it just to the family.
Yeah, exactly too. And we're always on the lookout for performers too. Like, we've had we have companies that are on board with us. So yeah, actually, just speaking of companies on board with us, a while back, I think it was, oh my god, a year ago, probably a year ago, if not more. We took on the case of a 6-year-old at the time from Freeport, Texas, Abigail Arias. Abigail was diagnosed with cancer, a very aggressive form of cancer. And she had a tough battle. She was in remission for a while, and she was clear for a while, then it came back, and it was a rough back and forth. So we wanted to do something special for her. I came across Abigail when I saw that Abigail had been initiated with the Freeport Police down in Freeport, Texas, as a honorary police officer. And that's how it came across, and that's how I came across her. So I approached the police chief Ray Garvey, who's the who heads up the police department down there, and I said, this is my name. This is what we do. We'd like to approach Abigail's family about doing this for Abigail. So he put me in touch with Abigail's family, and we got that green light us. So I think with the Stitch project, Jessica can attest to this. We strive to make a difference in the child's life. We never know what kind of reaction a child's going to have to the video. Yes, we get feedback from their parents saying, "Oh, they loved the video and they requested that it be played over and over again." That's great. That's what we want to hear, and that's what drives us.
Yeah, we don't necessarily ask for anything else. Like, we don't say, hey, can you get a reaction video? Or, hey, this and that. And some people have sent reaction videos, which is great, but we literally just send it and that's it. And our performers understand that as well. If we don't hear from them, then, we have to give that family that kind of like space and time. It's not like, hey,
exactly.
Video, how is it? It's like, hey, so we're not doing the video for us, we're doing it for them. And so But as Shaun said, that we're accepting all sorts of performers, even like you don't have to be like a specific type, like Santa Claus performers, elves, like stuff like that, fairies, unicorns, if you don't think you fit a specific character, because we do strive for authenticity as well. So we do try and have our performers be as authentic as possible, because we don't want to ruin the magic for that child. But if you still want to help and you maybe don't fall into that category, like I said, people, the kids love fairies or unicorns or mermaids or pirates or anything like that as well. We accept those. And anyone that, even if you're in there and you can't do anything, we also need people to help edit videos, help manage projects. And so you were saying, Sam, like, how do we pick? As of now, we've only really had one project at a time. Would we be able to do more than one project at a time? Yeah, of course, but not with the team that we have now. So the Stitch Project officially manages, a project at a time, although we do welcome other performers to utilize that group for their own projects. We're not like an exclusive anything. We're not here to be like, it's only us. Like, obviously we're here for the kids. So if maybe a performer says, hey, I know someone, or whatever, or maybe they know someone that they don't want to give the information to, then we'll be like, yeah, we'll help you, kind of manage it. But you take care of all the video and all of the delivery and all the communication with the recipient. So we're open to that too. We've had it like once, I think only once it's happened, but that's kind of what we're going for, is like, we don't want to just be exclusive to like our projects. The Stitch Project is a great resource for performers, for all sorts of projects. So we have our specific guidelines for the projects that we put our names on. But like I said, Sam, if you knew somebody, hey, I have a family friend or whatever, hey, we'll help you out. We just won't edit the video. We won't put our name on it. Don't put Stitch Project on it, but you can utilize the members to help you out as well. So if anybody outside the group has that, like, welcome to come and speak to us as well.
Yeah, Jessica, we've actually come a long way since our first video we did for Olivia. We've actually implemented certain video guidelines that the performers have to follow, because we want to maintain the magic as much as possible. Jessica, would you mind touching a little bit on some of the guidelines that the performers have to follow?
Yeah, absolutely. So of course we have authenticity guidelines. We don't want any like gender swaps or like, hey, this character would wear this like streetwear or like casual. Like, we want everything that's canon, because again, like, this is for the child, not for us. Like, we're not doing it to appease ourselves. So for the child, we want it to be the character as accurate and authentic as possible. We do sway a little bit on stuff like accents. Like, we get it. Like, sometimes if you have an accent, you're from another English speaking country, but you still want to participate. We don't want to exclude those that still want to help. And then I have very strict guidelines on the video itself, because we want to send a quality product. So if the video, I set these guidelines with, clear audio, no background, like limited background noise, even your surroundings. Like, if I see like light switches, I'll be like, please re-record this, because again, like, that's ruining the magic. We want this child to believe that the Ice Queen is actually in her castle, or even if you don't have a background, like, just a curtain is fine. Anything that
I used my LCD TV.
Yeah,
Sam, the highest brightness. I turned off all the lights in my living room, and I stood in front of it with a forest background and audio playing with like birds to make it seem like I was in the woods.
So we definitely want everyone to participate, but at the same time, we want to send out a good quality product. So if that's kind of not where the performer is at this time, maybe you can borrow from a friend or have someone else help you do the video. But we have rejected a few videos that were not in good quality, which is hard for us to do, because we know it takes. I've done videos, so I know it's a lot of work to get in the costume and practice the script and blah, 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 blah. But, we want to make sure that it's a good product that we put our name on. That way, kids are not like, well, why is so-and-so on a grainy cell phone video? They'll know. Kids know this, they'll know. So
exactly.
Those are some of the guidelines that we touch on.
Yeah, I do want to stress too, it's not like we're enforcing like the performer have a green screen behind them that they can put an image on or whatever. I mean, there's been situations in videos where we have performers in areas where, depending on what character it is, the area, natural surroundings give itself to the character. For example, one of our for example, one of our performers from Ottawa, she had submitted a video as Snow Queen, and it was wintertime, so she
In the
took it
snow,
outside with all the snow in the background.
Yeah. So sometimes in cases like that, we'll make exceptions because obviously you're not going to get the perfect sound out there, but that's a really special video that you can capture. The child will be like, whoa, okay, this is real. So there are exceptions that we make, and I do my best to try and like tweak the video. But and like Shaun said, like we're not saying you have to have the specific background, but don't take your video behind with like your bathroom mirror behind you. You know what I mean? Like if all else fails, just hang up like a bed sheet behind you. So that's acceptable. We just want it to be, you know, as far away from like modern world as possible. You know, make it more realistic in where the character is.
Unless it's a character that needs that. Like if it's a modern character that's in the modern world, that's cool. But still be careful about like not having anybody, you know, if you decide you want to do it in the middle of the city, maybe do it early in the morning or late at night so that you don't have people just walking through your video.
Yeah, or you have a microphone, you have a clip-on microphone.
Yeah.
Like we've had Spider-Man and Batman do like outdoor. We had a lot of superheroes do that, so that's fine. Just don't be like, you know, sitting on your couch and be Batman and be like, hey, or whatever.
Yeah, because the Stitch Project's definitely looking for help. I've submitted a link for you guys to follow, and if you are interested in helping them with video editing or contribution, please visit that link and take a look at what it is that they do so that you can, you know, you can provide with whatever it is that they're looking for. Like they've said, it's international. Like I am not located where Shaun's located, and I have contributed. So you can just be about anywhere, and you'll be helping, you know, terminally ill children kind of bring more light to their lives.
Yeah, and then again, like I said, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say we have performers from all over the world. We have performers from all over Canada, from all parts of Canada, all parts of the U.S., down through South America, over to Europe, down through New Zealand, down through Australia. So we have performers and companies and everybody from all over on with us. Mm-hmm. We're even privileged to have a lot of former Disney performers on with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah.
So these are people that are really true to character. Like they've been involved with the characters in the park, so they know what the character is.
Yeah, and what I'd like to see is I'd like to see more of our like participants or anyone else like try to utilize our group, you know, because we have a group of performers who do videos. I'd like to see more people come in with their own projects as well, and we can just kind of get them started and going. So that's something I would like to see grow, is more people joining the group to, you know, be like, hey, I have this project I want, you know, I need help for it.
So how would people join the group? Because that's one question I've had before in the past. Like, what's the easiest way for someone to join the group if they've only located the page? What would you suggest?
Actually, Sam, I'm going to touch base on that in just a minute here, but I do want to point out that we do try to make things as magical as possible for the child. Initially, when the Stitch project started, we started out just doing videos. We have since coordinated, and we have since coordinated in-person visits with characters.
Yeah,
we have actually, Sam, if you want to put up with that picture of Abigail with Merida, I believe it is.
This one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's
Shaun.
one that we had. That's one that we had coordinated through one of our companies in Houston, Texas. One of our partners in Houston, Texas. This was Easter. This was Easter. So we had arranged. I had arranged with the company owner to have, I believe it was Elsa Merida. I'm sorry. Yeah, Elsa Merida and Moana visit her house.
Yeah, yeah.
That, you know, and we do that from time to time. That's not the only in-person visit that we've done with characters. Now, people ask me all the time, how does this affect the child? Well, like I stated before, we only hear from the parents of what the child liked it, or they requested that the video be played over and over again. But Abigail, Abigail's dad, Ruben, was nice enough to send us a little video clip of when Abigail got her video. And this really drove the point home of what we do and how happy it makes the child.
Yeah.
So,
And also,
Sam, if you cue that up, if you cue that up, please.
Also, like if we do that instance, like she actually, or the recipient actually meets the character in person, we make sure that specific character does a video as well. Like we don't want to bring in another Moana and be like, hey, why does she look different? So we definitely try to keep that integrity intact. And then
we always we always stress that we try to make sure that the character that visits the child is the character that she sees in the video. Yeah. They'll say, she'll say, and it'll be something like, thank you. It was so nice visiting you and having fun with you, and then the child knows that that too.
Yeah, it makes them feel a little bit special, a little bit more special.
Just like let me know if you can hear the audio of this when I start playing it, because we've had problems with that not working before. So let me make sure my audio is all the way up to. Can you guys hear the audio?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's that?
So cute.
Who's that?
I'm trying to figure out who each character was, but I can barely hear it. It's only because it's being like second recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we haven't seen that one yet.
I think that's Alice. Yeah, that's Alice.
Take care, my friend. Bye, Abigail. Hi, Abigail. It's Italy. I learned so many amazing things about the humans here. You have no idea. Look at this amazing dingle. This is the.
Oh, this is Ariel.
I don't really know how it works, but I really like it.
The video like froze. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. So to kind of touch on a little bit more on the guidelines is, we do make it limited. We don't, if we get 15 videos, that's quite a long video. So, we limit it to, a minute or less. And then we do have restrictions on things that they can say as well. So we always tell the performers never to bring up the illness at all. So we're not focusing on the child's illness whatsoever. We do encourage them to obviously be in character and touch on the character, the recipient's likes. So obviously if you're Rapunzel and the child likes to paint, so that's something that Rapunzel can be like, oh my God, I love to paint too. And I painted this and that. So we want it to be kind of as interactive as possible, not so much as that you're just talking to the child. And then also we refrain from saying, I hope to see you soon, because we never want to put it into a child's head that oh my God, I might see them, because we don't know what their future holds whatsoever. We don't know if they could ever make it to Disneyland or anything else, or we never ever say that. So if I've had to cut stuff out before, and if it's impossible to cut it out, I'll have them re-record it, unfortunately. But we are pretty strict on what they say in the videos.
Right. We also only deal with face characters. We don't deal with mascots.
Yes.
I know that at Disney World, Mickey. I know at Disney World, Mickey talks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But unfortunately, we don't have that kind of technology to make our mascots talk. I wish we could, but we don't.
Yeah, and plus, they're pretty strict on their mascot characters,
Yeah.
in terms of copyright. So we just don't even touch that. So yeah, and plus, to be honest, I think it's hard to get mascot characters right. So if
We
yeah, I
do
mean,
have a lot of companies with us that do offer mascots, but we
Mhm.
just are a little touchy on the whole mascot situation.
Yeah.
Because the mascots technically can't talk, and
Mhm.
if they do talk, it's voiceover.
Yeah, and their mouth isn't moving and nothing's moving, and you're like, oh, so this person's just like
Yeah.
this.
So for this Stitch project, do you guys have any age limitations? Do they have to be under 18, or what is it that you prefer to stick to for your guidelines?
You mean for the recipient?
Mhm. Yeah.
We hadn't really discussed that because we haven't really been approached with anyone that's over 18, or because also it has to be, it's more of like a magical gift for the child. I mean, I would not be opposed if someone was like, hey, my husband or my adult brother, sister really loves Disney, and they just want this one more time. Like, I would be totally open to that. So it really depends on what the recipient wants. Of course, mostly children, because they still have that, belief in the magic. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I think I'd be open to an adult that request like that. We don't do anything like birthdays or, like a Stitch project wouldn't. We might say in the group, like, hey, someone's looking for a birthday video or whatever. Like, can you just send them? But we wouldn't do one like that. So,
No.
yeah. But yeah, I'd be open to,
So in the end, because these are just things that I've seen people ask about, like other
Mhm.
charities and other groups. What is your what would you say your mission statement is?
Shaun?
Well, let's see.
Sorry, I ask hard questions.
I don't
No,
know.
that's fine. Our mission statement is pretty much our goal is to bring. Our mission statement is to bring is we set out with the goal of bringing smiles to the faces of kids who have terminal and critical illnesses, because they go through so much in their lives, and they have to go through so many hospital stays and so many doctor visits and so many different treatments and all that. All they're used to is misery, misery, misery.
Yeah,
So
it's not
we
like
try
adults
to
that-
make that different. I mean, we try to make that difference in their lives. So I mean, that's kind of where we stand. That's kind of where we stand.
Yeah, because I mean, adults, if we know we have to go into the hospital, like we cope, we have these coping mechanisms. Children have no idea, they don't have that life experience. And this kind of, and I hate to say it, but it's easier to distract children away from the pain than to try and teach them to cope with it. So this is kind of a little getaway for them, kind of a little escape that kind of puts them in a better mood, and definitely helps with their tough situations.
Yeah. And we get personally affected too, because if we lose if one of our recipients happens to pass away, yes, we've got involved with that recipient, and we kind of feel the impact. I mentioned that Olivia passed away 4 days after she got her video, November 5th last year. Abigail passed away from cancer. And it made national news because she was it made national news because she was a little, well, she was a little spitfire. That's what she was. And she's been all over. She's been all over. She's been to Washington. She's been to New York. She's been to Hawaii. She's been all over the world, and everybody knows her case. Well, I understand to everybody. A lot of people know her case.
Yeah.
But
so I noticed in one of the pictures that you guys had, this right here. You want to tell us about this cool advertisement? Because you're talking about how you you've made national news, like one of your recipients, and I see that we've got the Team Oliviah project right here.
Yeah, Olivia actually made a billboard in Times Square. It's like, and it really shocked and surprised me to see Olivia up there. So I guess what the deal was. Olivia's case made so much national news that the Team Oliviah Foundation, who we're very proud to work with, actually, I keep a little part of Olivia with me. Just give me a second. I'm going to show you something.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool when we sent that. And, you know, it's like our performers, they love it too. Like I said, we don't do it for a thanks, but when we do see stuff like this, you know, it really helps us know that it's worth it, that what we're doing is worth it.
So this here is a bracelet that I got from the Team Oliviah Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
This always stays with me. I always have this on. This never comes. There's two things that never come off me. That one is this, and the other one is my wedding ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this little bracelet here really drives home why we're doing this.
Yeah.
If I'm ever at a point where I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed and I look down and I see this, well, it pushes me to move on.
Yeah, so it's obviously like we've been a little bit slow during COVID, like no one's been going out or anything. But you know, we're going to start up another project here shortly and get people sign up again. And we're always welcoming people into the group. And I think you asked before, Sam, about how to join. So if you do the search, you'll find the Stitch Project. There's a Facebook group and a Facebook page. So if you can't find the group, you know, message the page and we'll direct you. But we are only accepting performers and anyone who wants to help us manage the group into the group. So you have to answer the questions to be in there. It's not a public group, again, because we want to keep all that information private. Some of it's sensitive to the family. So we do keep it strict on who we do let in, but we do invite performers. You know, like I said, if anyone wants to help, like the editing or anything like that. If you're not one of those, but you still want to keep track, like follow our page. We won't post videos on there, but we will post like thank yous for projects and things like that. So that's a great way to keep in touch with us too. Especially if you think you might have a project that you want to suggest, you can suggest it through the page as well. But yeah, maybe we should come up with some sort of form or something, Shaun, so people can just fill it out like a Google form or something, and we can get all the information. So
I know that the Stitch Project, the Stitch Project does have a section on teamolivia.org, whereas we're teamed up with the foundation. Maybe I can talk to Tina about setting up kind of a form where they can submit possible recipients to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Probably through the website here, where everybody else is kind of. Because if you underneath this project, if you went here and then there's a little form underneath here that people could just fill out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'll probably look at doing. I had initially, I had a friend of mine offer to put a website up with the Stitch Project. He offered to get the domain and host it and all that, and I said, well, that sounds like a good idea. But then Tina reminded me the other day that we have a site through teamolivia.org.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think Stitch Project needs a website. I think it
was nice of him to offer. It was. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then here, is individuals can see this. If you go to the website, you can learn about teamolivia.org. You can learn about the different projects that they're doing here, the poker run. You can check out the organizations that are partnered with them. You can support them. If you click on this link, it takes you to a support page, and you can click on the about page and kind of learn more as well. So I know that this is still being built out as time goes on. So there is a place to go to. And I think if we got a form underneath the Stitch menu, the Stitch Project menu, for individuals to submit either ideas for contribution or to become a contributor, that might be a really good place so that you can start formally organizing and having a good long list of individuals to kind of give this project and this foundation even more girth, because I think what you're doing is like really cool. So
yeah,
and we do encourage our members to if to keep an eye out. If they see a case of a child where either they have to meet the criteria. It's either terminal or critical. Somebody can't come to us and say, "Oh, my child has a cold. Can you do a video for them?" That's not what we're about.
And it's not like
we're not.
Yeah, it's not like we're rejecting them. It's just that, we have to set a priority because we have people's times that they're offering and volunteering. And I mean, if there's other individuals that want to do that, that's totally fine. But for us as an organization, like, we really want to prioritize that. And, we value our volunteers' time. So yeah, if there's anyone watching that has any questions, go ahead and ask us now. We'll try and answer them as best as we can.
Yeah. And we do encourage our members to keep an eye out for cases. If they come across a case that's if they're looking through the Facebook causes thing and they see a case of a child that's either terminal or critical, we urge them to bring it to the administrator's attention, and we can have a look at it and see if it qualifies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can like the page so you can follow it and learn more when new projects happen. If they announce, if they're saying, hey, we're looking for individuals, we don't have enough, I'm sure that announcements would go out too, because sometimes it gets to a point with the state of the world right now, there are some individuals that probably can't contribute anymore. So if you're able to contribute either through donations or time or by assisting them with, I know they're looking for video editing and some administrators. If you want to assist with that, please reach out to the Stitch Project through their page or email them. There's also an email there as well. And I'll scroll down so you can see the email here. You've got an email, you've got contact information here on the side. It's stating that it's a community service organization, and you can communicate with them through those methods. Because it's nice to give back, especially right now when there isn't a lot going on. You can't really interact. Well, you can if you want to, but you really shouldn't be interacting with people en masse. So being able to provide for somebody who's struggling with an illness, because it brings light to the family too. It's not just the children and the magic we create there. I've seen some of like my friends and family who've had very ill children receive things similar to this in the past, but not quite as detailed as this is. I really like how very strict your guidelines are, because it does create that nice illusion of magic. And they just are, even the family is like, they're just amazed at how much work the volunteers will put into it and really personalize it.
Yeah,
and we do have a rule, and to maintain that level of magic too, we do have a rule in place, and Jessica can attest to this, that we always tell our performers that they're more than welcome to like the public page and share the public page, but in no way can they indicate that they're a performer with the Stitch Project, because we want that magic. We want that level of magic maintained.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if you guys have any questions, we can start wrapping up now. I know we're getting near the end. We've had a lot of discussions. Shaun, do you have any closing statements for us, or any other additional information you'd like to share about the project that individuals should know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if anybody wants to get involved with us, we are looking for a video editor. We are looking for video editors. If you happen to own a party company and you want to come on board with us, you're always more than welcome to. If you're a cosplayer, you don't have to be the best cosplayer. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on precautions and stuff like that. We just ask that you look somewhat authentic to the character itself.
You go for authenticity. We ask that we
do go for authenticity. So if anybody wants to join, they can always contact us through our Facebook page. I think our performer group is set to private right now, but we could always open up to public.
Yeah, and you can find it if you do a search on Facebook. You can find the page, but you would have to submit a request asking to join. So if you look for the Stitch Project, if you look under pages, there's a single page. But if there's that filter option at the top of Facebook, and if you click on group, it will pop up in the group section. You just cannot automatically join. You have to request to join.
Yeah.
Vice versa, people can also contact me to our email address. It's the Stitch Video Project at gmail.com.
I think it's the Stitch Project videos.
I'm gonna submit it to the.
No. The Stitch Project video, Jessica. The Stitch Project videos is for the performers to submit the clips.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
submitted
So-
the email to the comment section, so everyone should be able to see it.
Stitch
That's
videos.
the one that's on,
vice-
that's on Facebook. Yeah.
Vice versa, if anybody has any questions, they can. And vice versa, if anybody has any questions after the live stream, they can contact me directly through either phone or text. The area code is 902-921-8635.
All
So-
right, cool.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I have learned more about the Stitch Project and Team Oliviah Foundation than I knew before as well. And I was a contributor, so this is really cool to know so much. We got to share images of really happy kids. We got to show, talk about like what their struggles have been and how your project and team that you partner with has been helping them. And so thank you so much, Shaun, for also letting everybody know where they can contact you. I don't even have to ask that anymore. You literally just told us, which is awesome. So thank you so much. Jessica, do you have any closing statements? Because I know that you work really closely with this.
No, but like I said, I've had some people come and be like, hey, I don't have X amount of money, or I don't have X costume. Like Shaun said, it's not about spending the amount of money. It's just like striving for authenticity. And you can do that on a budget.
Yeah.
So we definitely want everyone to be able to participate. If you ever need help with that, like I'm good at that, Sam's good at that. I'd love to reach out and help people get to where they need to be able to submit videos. Again, you can reach me at jinxcosplay.com or the Jinx Cosplay on Facebook and Instagram. And yeah, like I said, like even Sam's a contributor as well, so I'm sure she'd be happy to help you.
Yeah, and CosTalk Live, please, if for some reason you're not able to get in contact with anybody at the Stitch Project, message us. We would be more than happy to act as a medium too and let Shaun know or any other administrator, hey, we've got someone here that wants to help, or someone that has some ideas. And CosTalk Live is a proud supporter of the Stitch Project and Team Oliviah Foundation. We think what they do is amazing. So we can also offer communication or advice if necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so I guess to wrap it up, I don't think I have any questions, but guys, we do have our regular stream tomorrow, right, Sam? We got tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
Yep. And it's going to
12
be the cosplay wish list. We're going to give you some ideas of what to buy the cosplayers in your life.
Yeah, so 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, which is 11 o'clock Pacific. So if you guys want to tune
Maybe I'll get my wife to maybe I'll get my wife to watch. I am a cosplayer too.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. All right.
So, thank you, everybody. Again, we've posted all the links and all of the contact information in these comments. But if you need more information, don't be afraid to reach out to us.
Yep. All right. Thank
And
you
thank you
guys
again,
so much.
Shaun, for joining us.
Thank you, Shaun.
Oh no,
Yeah.
definitely, and thank you for having us. It was awesome to have this opportunity to showcase the Stitch Project and what we do, and how important to the cause how important that the project is to the cause.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll see you all tomorrow. And have a wonderful Saturday.
Bye, guys. Be safe. Be healthy. Bye.
Bye, guys.